Okay, here we are, family. Back on Stellarium, hunting the signs for the escape of the bride. Let's dig into Stellarium for our next signs. Here we are, we're looking at the moon, having entered into the lower section of Capricorn. This lower section of Capricorn, shaped as a triangle, is a temple in the heavens. And this section, or this part of Capricorn, being the goat, is presented to us as sacrifice. And this sacrifice of the goat, which is Messiah for us, is a sign of death. And this section of Capricorn being a sign of death, and let's scroll out, you can see the back section of Capricorn. For those of you who have not done any Mazzaroth research into the sign of Capricorn, then you will probably miss that this pictogram that we're seeing in the heavens is part goat and part fish. And if you do your research on the front end, let's go ahead and move this so that you could see this part of the goat. If you do your research, you'll see how they have these legs positioned. And in the more ancient pictograms, the goat's head is down a little bit more. And this is a sign of the goat essentially giving a knee, dropping a knee as if it's dying. And this triangle that we see here in Capricorn is the front end of the work of Messiah. And with this sign that we're seeing here, it has great relevance for us as the bride of Messiah. So let's break down this sign. Now that we know that this area of Capricorn is where we're talking about sacrifice, there is great wisdom to be gleaned from this sign. So I'm hoping to be able to break this down in a clear and concise way for the body of Messiah. I pray that the Spirit would pour out and bring this message in clarity. So here we go. First, Mercury, the messenger, brings this message as the head or the top of this triangle. If you notice, we have 3 planets or objects or stars that are within this sign, and they are all shaped in a triangular shape, just as the Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn alignment showed us. So for those of you who understand that the Father of Lights is the maker of everything that has to do with numbers and math, and it is only the enemy who hijacks everything that was already established. He is not the maker of anything, and so these signs, being triangular, are a sign of the capstone. And this capstone with Mercury on the top, showing us that there's a message here in this sign. And the bride having just entered into the ark, because arks are like temples. So this is the bride entering into a temple or an ark, just as we saw in the last video. The moon entering into the ark of Sagittarius. This is a very similar sign that the moon is in a protected spot. And if you see to the right, we have the king planet Jupiter that represents Messiah. And we are seeing the culmination of a story with the Jupiter-Saturn great conjunction and the Revelation 12, 7 through 9, with the war in heaven having been completed, and Jupiter having thrown Saturn down. And if you notice that Saturn is not inside of this triangle, it is below the head of the sacrifice and has not been able to get into the temple. And this is a great sign for us. We know that there are great emotional upheavals over what is transpired with the election and the House and the Senate, and most of the body of Messiah are feeling robbed and cheated, and they're feeling as if they're left in tribulation. And I'm here to bring this message to the body of Messiah that we, the bride, were not appointed unto wrath. And we are not the ones who are going into the tribulum. We are to escape all these things and to stand before the Son of Man. And we need to take heart, and we need to get on our knees, and we need to do the work of Messiah. This is our time. This is the time to stand for truth, and this is the time for us to boldly go before the world and to speak the message of Messiah, because we do not have much longer. This section of Capricorn, being the sacrifice, to me is our time to sacrifice everything that we have in the world and everything that we think the world is for us. And it's time for us to stand for the truth and to be prepared for what is about to go down. So take heart, have joy, do not fear. What we're seeing in the heavens is the mighty work of the Savior, and he is not going to leave us into this destruction.